Welcome to the summer audioblog series for the Homeschool Conversations with Humility and Doxology podcast. Today's guest podcaster is Lisa Nehring from True North Academy, and she has all sorts of great tips for bringing fun to your summer. She's got great suggestions for all ages. Be sure to check the show notes to find out more about Lisa. As the school year winds down, homeschool moms everywhere are reflecting on their year. We're remembering what went well, wondering what to change, and possibly questioning if we're doing any of it right. It's easy to feel like your homeschool has gotten off track from what you envisioned. The day-to-day tasks and challenges can pile up in your mind and feel like failures. But let me reassure you of something you already know. These things don't define your homeschool. We all have frustrations and question ourselves. Homeschooling definitely isn't easy, but I promise you can find joy and purpose in your days together. Want to renew your homeschool with beauty, connection, and delight this year? Join me June 8th through 10th for Renew Homeschool Gathering, an online homeschool conference hosted by Learning Through Literature. It's all about encouraging and equipping you for the coming school year with inspiring ideas and practical tips. You'll hear from an amazing group of speakers with advice on how to renew your homeschool vision, connect with your kids, and delight in your homeschooling days. No magic formulas or lofty goals that promise a brand new homeschool. Just practical, inspiring ideas that can benefit any homeschool. Session topics will include literature, nature study, art, music, writing, geography, game schooling, financial literacy, and more. You'll hear from seasoned homeschoolers about connecting with your kids through adventure and travel, creating vision and mindset in your homeschool, adding enchantment and wonder, avoiding burnout, and transitioning to those scary middle and high school years. And I'll be speaking about Shakespeare because you guys know how much I love to geek out about simple and easy ways to include Shakespeare in your homeschool. If you want to learn more, check the show notes for information about the conference and make sure you register during the early bird pricing for a discounted rate. I hope you'll join me for this exciting homeschooling event. Replays will be available if you can't make it live, but be sure to sign up now to grab your seat.
Hey everybody, it is Lisa Nehring from True North Homeschool Academy, and I am really excited to be here with you today to talk about planning summer fun. And I know for a lot of us, we look forward to summer all winter long. I know I do, at least I live in the far north. So summer is really my happy place when it's great to be outside and there's green things and growing things. But having long, unstructured days can be stressful for not only our kids, but sometimes for us too. So I wanted to share some ideas about how to plan some fun summer activities so that it's still a more relaxed approach to summer, but it gives you some structure. And I like to plan things for summer based on challenges, projects, food, and activities. So I want to tell you a little bit about some of the ideas that I have about each of those things. Now, a couple ways that you could use these are to just have buckets, and you could put popsicle sticks with ideas on them into each of the buckets, like an activities bucket, a challenge bucket, etc., and just draw one out every week, or have one kid draw one out, etc. Or you could just have them on a list, or you could just have them, just randomly pull them out. However it's going to work for you to use them for your kids. And of course, depending on the age of your kids, if you have a lot of littles, things are going to look different than if you have older kids. But I would like to suggest to you that maybe some of your older kids, your teens and your tweens for sure, but your teens, and even as they get ready to launch, they might enjoy some of these things, and to know that you just put a little bit of extra effort into how their summer's going to go. So let's jump in and talk about some of these ideas. Let's start with some challenges. So I like challenges because they're kind of like theme based, and you can do them however you want. You can make them really competitive or just make them kind of fun. And some of the challenges that I've come up with are a Frank Gilbreth challenge, and that would be to read the Cheaper by the Dozen and Bells on Their Toes books, which are laugh out loud funny. Watch one of the movies. We love the older one, but the Steve Martin one is fun too. And then have your kids learn Morse code. If you read the books, you'll find out why. Learn to do 10 things more economically. And there's actually a book called The Expert Guide to Doing Things Faster. And this might really intrigue some of your kids. So I would encourage you to look into Frank Gilbreth, a fascinating historical figure. How about a Reach for the Sky challenge? With this one, you could read the Stargazer's Guide, How to Read Your Night Sky. You could read the Summer Solstice printout, which you can get online. Be able to identify 12 summer constellations that you didn't know before the beginning of summer, and pick 3 units from NASA's Summer of Innovation site and do them. There's so many great resources online, Pinterest and different websites. I'd also suggest, like, we live in the prairie, so how about a wide open prairie challenge? Or you could do this wherever you live, in the rainforest or the deciduous forest. Craighead George has a series of books. Prairie Animals book is one of them, but she has them for all different biomes. And this would be fun to just really structure a little quick mini unit study or challenge around. Create a prairie notebook, draw or write 1 to 3 paragraphs about 10 prairie animals, and even create a shoebox biome. How fun would that be? A reading challenge, I think we're all familiar with this. I know when I was younger, our library had reading challenges every summer, and I was grateful to be part of them because I'm a big reader. But you could create your own reading challenge for your kids, and you could just have them keep a book list, or you could do projects and activities based on the books that you're reading, or you could have a literary circle where you actually talk about them and do some basic lit analysis with them as well. How about the Arnold Schwarzenegger challenge, where they do curls, push-ups, aerobics, and drink a smoothie every morning? You could really make a lot of this depending on your kid's age and that kind of thing. One of my favorites is the Feed the Self challenge, where they make bread, learn to make it from scratch, learn to make a main dish, a salad, or a side dish that they haven't made before, and help mom make 5 items from the garden for winter storage, like sauerkraut, grape juice, dried apples, etc. So there's so many different challenges. You can create them yourself, or you can go online and look up a fun bunch of them for summer. Activities is another fun thing to think about for summer, because activities, I know if you live in a place like we do where seasons are so different, summer activities look really different than winter activities. So some of the activities we've enjoyed have been canoeing or kayaking. We have a citywide sculpture walk. I know a lot of other cities do too. We have an outside campfire, and we love doing sitting around the campfire and making s'mores. Those old time yard games like croquet and badminton are fun to still do, and people know how to do them, and they are a lot of fun. How about ultimate frisbee or a sponge ball fight or a water gun fight? I love the PVC water hose sprinkler, and you can find really fun plans for those online and Pinterest again. And then, of course, activities like fireworks in the county fair. We have one of the oldest running county fairs in our state, right in our little town, and people from all over the state come to it, and it's a lot of fun. Let's move on to projects. I love doing little simple projects, and we live in a place where there's a lot of rocks, so maybe that's why I have so many rock projects on my list here. But you can paint rock animals like owls and ladybugs. They last for a really long time, and they're really cute garden decorations. You can make a really fun rock garden. I just saw a dragonfly made out of rocks for a garden that was really cute online. There's glow-in-the-dark paint, and it's really fun to do glow-in-the-dark rocks, because then you can just have them around the yard and they glow in the dark. It's pretty cool. Also, how about some of those fun summertime crafts like making God's eyes or tie-dyeing t-shirts or making tin canned wind chimes? I think we all did those things when we were little, right? And they're still fun to do. You could do fireworks in a jar, make a safety pin bracelet, or an ice sculpture. And sometimes your kids just need these kind of activities with the stuff that is required to do them all gathered together for them. So it might be something that you want to do ahead of time, is just set a budget of $50 or $100 and go to the dollar store and gather up all the things that you need to do some of these projects, and then just have them like in a Ziploc bag, and you can take out the Ziploc bag once a week and just have one thing a week to do. But it's really fun to do them together. And they don't have to be really expensive or really time consuming to be really meaningful and create good memories. Also, how about creating a collage together, or even doing a vision board together, or creating mini journals together? Mini journals are fun, especially if you gather together in the morning to read a Bible study or do poetry. You can always do collect, connect, compose based on what you're reading. So you all read together and then collect your thoughts and you write them down. How do they connect to other things? And then compose what that is meaningful to you about. And so that's a great way to really just make the reading meaningful and fun. And you can share the collect, connect, compose with each other. We like to do projects in the summer, like gardening and house projects. We live on an acreage, so there's never an end to projects where we live. But gardening is a fun summer project, and you can learn so many life skills and soft skills by doing gardening together. And I just think everybody should learn to garden, at least something simple like radishes and lettuce. And then, because really, if kids actually create their own salad, they're going to eat it, right? So the other thing too, that leads us into food. And food is fun in the summer because there's different foods in the summer. There's berries in the summer, and it's really fun to, we like to make crepes once a week with fresh berries. And it's really pretty simple to do once you get the recipe down. But frozen slushies, root beer floats are like a fun summertime treat. Tropical fruit trees or fruit kebabs, watermelon pops, fudgesicles, yogurt drops. There's so many fun summer foods. And I mean, we love apples at our house, but you could even do an apple a day challenge where you just list all the different ways to bake and create and make with apples. And then that can be part of your food thing too. So this can all be integrated. You can do just one piece at a time. If you're looking for classes and clubs for the summer, we always do a little bit of school during the summer too. And clubs are always a super fun way to connect with people and do interest-based projects. And at True North Homeschool Academy, we offer 6-week summer class session as well as a 10-week summer club session along with a mom's membership. So if you're looking for any of those type of activities or projects, we've got them for you at truenorthhomeschoolacademy.com. But either way, I hope you enjoy your summer and that it is a time of refreshment and blessing for you and your family. Thanks for listening. It's Lisa at True North Homeschool Academy, and I will talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to the Homeschool Conversations audioblog series. I'm so thankful for each of the guests who are sharing their ideas with us this summer. Check the show notes to find more resources from today's guest. And would you please take a moment to leave a rating and review for this podcast in your app? It really helps other homeschool parents find the show. Would you like a copy of my free homeschool planning guide? Head to humilityandoxology.com/homeschool-planning-guide or check the link in the show notes for this episode. I'm busy recording more scintillating interviews for season 6 of the podcast. But in the meantime, there are so many fabulous episodes you can catch up on this summer. Check today's show notes to see this week's podcast replay suggestion.